G'day and welcome to Aussievision. It's Kyriakos here, and I'm joined by Hugo today. Hey, Hugo.
G'day.
So today we're going to do a review and wrap up of Estonia's national final, Eesti Laul, with the final show occurring early in the morning Australian time during the massive Super Saturday of the Eurovision national finals. And we had like seven finals and two other national finals that were going on at the same time. Now, Hugo, you got up real early and watched the show. I managed to catch up on the performances a little later on, but what did you think of the overall show?
I thought it was a good show. Estonia is really coming to the fore, like with the camera angles, with the production. So I thought the show overall was really good. The stage looked good, big crowds, all the sweeping shots looked really nice. The hosts were fantastic, very personable. Obviously, I don't speak Estonian, so I have no idea what they were saying, but they seem to be flowing really well and have good chemistry with each other. Perhaps some of the green room interval bits pushed on a little bit, but that was always going to be the case. They had like a little half an hour break between
Um,
the voting and the results, which did they need it? I'm not sure. They just showed some news on the TV. But I thought overall the show was a really good quality production, and Estonia should be really proud of themselves.
and we have a winner now. Alika won with the song Bridges, and she initially won the jury vote and then received 42% of the vote in the super final, where she was joined by two other acts. And now she will be going to Liverpool to represent Estonia at Eurovision 2023. Hugo, what did you think of her performance?
I thought it was great. It was one of my preferred songs coming into the night. I do love a good ballad, so it was a really good performance. I like the piano playing itself at the start. It was a little bit different as opposed to just lady sitting at piano, which she did do for a little bit, but I thought the piano playing itself was really clever. Her vocals just outstanding. There's no surprise why she won the jury vote in the end. I just think it's a great overall package. The producer of the song helped produce Arcade for Duncan Lawrence and also Tout l'univers by John's Tears. So we know it's got some production chops behind it. And you could really tell on the night where some of the other songs were perhaps a little bit clunky in their presentation. I thought this was really, really simple, classy, elegant, and a really deserving winner, I thought.
Yeah, I thought her performance was the most polished out of the lot, and she just showed there was a reason why she was one of the favorites leading to the final. She was a second favorite in the Aussievision team song rankings that we did like a little while ago now, but yeah, she was one of our favorites, and she definitely showed a lot of emotion and really elevated that. I thought maybe in the third act or the third part at the end there in the song, and yeah, she really took it somewhere. So yeah, very well deserving for Alika there. So there were three acts in the super final. We had Ollie with Venom, who came second, and Bedwetters with Monsters, who finished in third place. Now, Hugo, what did you think of the other two performances?
I sort of think they sort of killed each other in the
Mm.
super final. I think a 42% in a three-song super final is actually quite a low number. I think the second and third got around 25 to 30% each of the vote. Obviously, that adds to 100. So I sort of think they killed each other. If there had been potentially another song and then one of Venom or Monsters, I feel like that could have taken the win. But both were really good performances, I feel. Similar genre. I feel like Ollie had a better performance, hence why I might have come second. But both of them, the camera angles at times were a little bit clunky, I must say. It wasn't necessarily my favorite, the chaotic camera angles. That didn't necessarily work for me, but the songs themselves stood out. They had a great reception in the arena. So there's no surprise why they got to where they did. Perhaps Monsters did a little bit better with the jury than I thought it might to begin with, but once they made the super final, honestly, I thought any of them could have taken it out. Um, and like I said before, I reckon the two of them just killed themselves because they were both sort of leaning for the same vote. So if somebody thought, well, I don't really like rock, so that automatically excludes two. So therefore, I'll vote for the nice ballad in Alika. But I think overall, the three songs in the super final were very good and probably the three best performances on the night. I know in the past in Eesti Laul, we've had a few random songs make the super final, I want to say. Obviously, we don't know the local market as Estonians do, but I feel like this year was the best 3 songs and performances in the super final.
I have to agree with all your points there. I've got the same notes actually. I thought Venom was the standout out of the 2 personally, but yeah, the camera angles, the shaky lens was a little bit jarring, and was a little bit too much for me to take in myself. And yeah, I thought both those entries just cancelled each other out, and that's what got Alika over the line. She obviously did very good performance, but yeah, that's why she ended up with a 42% and just passing the other 2. Yeah. So now, Hugo, do you have any other notable mentions from the performances in the final?
Yeah, I'll mention Yannick with House of Glass. I know you love this song.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite of the studio tracks as well. I thought it was a good performance. Again, nice, simple, elegant staging. Brought some pyro at the end, if I remember correctly, which definitely elevated it. Did probably better than I thought it would in the final after just making it through to the final. But I really liked the performance. I probably preferred the studio version still, but a 5th place effort is really good. I know, and I know you love the song as well too, Kiri.
Yeah. I thought, yeah, 5th place was probably the right spot for it. Yeah, I was a huge fan of the studio version. I thought he did a good performance overall at the end there, and yeah, I will still cherish that song for a long time. Any other ones worth mentioning?
Um, we know Estonia loves their sort of Spotify friendly tracks. So I thought out of those 3 or 4 that were in the final, I thought ML's with So Good at What You Do was probably the best performance of the night. Perhaps not my favorite song out of those 3 or 4 little ones, but I thought the song, again, simple, elegant staging seemed to work on the night. And I thought it was a really nice performance. And I'd love to see her back one day because she's got a great sound. It's perhaps not the strongest song overall, but if Estonia wants to go down that path of let's make a Spotify friendly track Eurovision friendly, I think she could be a really good artist to bring that to life.
Another one I thought was probably worth mentioning is Sissy with Lighthouse. Now we all know her dad is a former Eurovision winner. Um, And yeah, I thought her performance, I think I expected more. I don't know whether there was overhype, especially leading up to it. I know she was the favorite of the Aussievision team's song rankings that we did. But yeah, I just expected something extra from her performance. Did you have anything to say about Sissy's performance, Hugo?
No, I agree with that. I
You agree with
think
that?
it was, yeah, it was a very artsy performance, which I feel like suits someone who already did Eurovision and is coming back to Eesti Laul, as we've seen in the past. But for someone who really wants to go to Eurovision for the first time, I thought it wasn't the best performance that Sissy could have done. I thought it really rested on her vocals in that last minute, driving the performance because the studio alone, it's a nice song, but it just didn't really have any X factor, any wow moment. So it really needed the live performance to do that for it, which she tried. I think she gave it her best effort. I just think vocally it was probably 90% where it really needed to be 100% to really take her to the win. She did okay with the jury, and I think you could see when the televotes were announced, she was a little bit disappointed, but I don't think it was a surprising result. But again, she's a great performer. It might be a case like we saw with Stefan last year. He's tried 3 or 4 times and just made the super final a couple of times, never won. I'd love to see her back again, just with a better song, a better Eurovision song.
Yeah, totally agree. Would love to see Sissy back in return. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Let us know if you agree with the results of Eesti Laul 2023. Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.
See you later.